As we edge closer to the European Championships, the question on everybody's lips is, can Slovakia win Euro 2020? In this video, we're going to see just how far they can go in this summer's spectacular. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, it's all about Euro 2020 as we take a look at a nation's hopes of the tournament this summer. We'll see just how far they get, of course, in my eyes, when the tournament kicks off in June. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, a big shout out to the VIPs, the patrons behind the scenes. Thank you for your continued support. I do appreciate that, guys. And of course, if you want to join yourselves, check out the links down below, patreon.com/. But today, it's all about Slovakia, of course. And of course, at the end of this video, hopefully I'll be able to answer a couple of questions for you. Of course, can Slovakia win Euro 2020? And of course, will they win Euro 2020? Hopefully we'll get those questions answered for you in due time. But of course, let's get into the deep end and take a look at how Slovakia got to the stage. Of course, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy by far. Of course, they actually finished as a playoff winner via Path B, and ultimately finishing in third place in the European qualifying campaign in Group E, behind the likes of Wales, who of course finished in second. Of course, Croatia finishing top honours as well. Slovakia were losing 3 times along the way, losing to Croatia. Who else did they lose to? They lost to Croatia twice, in fact, and they also lost to the Welsh on the road as well. They sealed the deal on the 12th of November 2020, and this will be their second championships. Of course, their last was back in 2016, so back-to-back for them. And of course, they'll be led down the line this time. Of course, in fact, their best performance was probably a group stage. I don't even know. But the manager these days is Stefan Tarkovic. That's right. And of course, their Capitano and best player on it's a debatable thing. It is Marek Hamsic, of course. He is their captain. He is their top goal scorer. He is their most record appearance maker, of course. But he's not necessarily their best player. They've got Skriniar as well at the back there. Stanislav Lobotka as well. Who else have got? Martin Dubravka possibly between the sticks. If not, you got Marek Rodak as well. So 2 decent goalkeepers, of course, of a decent age as well. So yeah, Marek Hamsic is, of course, a veteran for Slovakia, now playing his football over in Gothenburg, over in Sweden, of course, which is a little bit bizarre. But anyway, they're there, and they're there on merit, of course, by getting through via the playoffs. We'll take a look at the playoffs in a second, but let's take a look at, of course, their record compared to the other nations in the Euros. So here we go, boys and girls. Here we bloody go. Their record against, well, compared to everybody else's, it's 22nd. It is the worst. It is the worst record. No, it's not. Scrap that. Flip it around, spit it out, and chew on it. It's not the worst. It's actually not bad. It is better than the likes of of Ireland, Iceland, who never qualified. But it's not. It's also better than the likes of Scotland, North Macedonia, and Hungary. Slovakia up there with the likes of Finland, Wales, and of course the Czechs, who of course they're local rivals. Former once one country, but now nemesis, I guess. Let's take a look at their passage to the group stages itself. They did have to go through a bit of a playoff, of course, finishing 21st in this ranking system, whatever that means, sandwiched in between Turkey and the Czechs. Of course, they went to this playoff here. They took on the likes of Irish, and they got through on penalties in a very, very tight occasion there. They then took on, of course, Northern Ireland, which they got through on extra time. It was a very, very difficult path for both. For any of the nations from Path B. Penalties were required in both the semi-finals and, of course, a bit of extra time as well in the final. So they're there on merit. And they will go. So here we go, boys and girls. Here we go. Take a look at their group, which is Group E. That's right. Which is fellow nations up there. Poland in there. Of course, Sweden. And, of course, hotly tipped Spain, who will be host nation, of course. And they'll fancy their chances with that home backing to go very, very far in this. As for Slovakia, though, are they here just to make up the numbers? Potentially. But guess what? Once you get to this stage, it's anybody's guess. We've seen it before with, I say it all the time, the Danes, of course. They only showed up. They didn't actually qualify. They just got given a spot, as of course the Yugoslavia withdrew, but because of the turmoil it was back in 1992. But Slovakia are here, and guess what? If they're here, you've got yourself a chance to do very, very well for themselves. And of course, Slovakia ain't no slouches as well, qualified last time around. And of course, and when you look at the rankings, duly to they should be here. They should be here. They were ranked in the top 24 nations. in that ranking order, so they deserve to be here. So the playoffs just made it a little bit awkward for them so far. This is their passage to the next stage. Of course, the Group E matches kicking it off with a difficult one, but I would say their important one. Is it the important one against Poland? It is. It is the most important match, must-win game. It's match day number 1 against the Poles, and if they were to get something out of this, and when I say get something, if they get a draw, if they get a win, anything but a defeat, they're going to have a good chance to get themselves out of this group stage. Of course, after that though, it does get a little bit more difficult, taking on the Swedes, of course, who will have Zlatan back, and of course a bit of momentum as well from that euphoria of seeing the legend return. And then they'll wrap it up with, of course, the difficult one against Spain, who are hotly tipped to go through into the later stages, and of course who will be on home soil as well. So it does get difficult, but guess what, if you get the win against Poland, you know what, the momentum is there, the positivity is there, the belief is there that you could do very, very well. You could win the first one, and you could probably even you might even be able to make it on just that one result. You just don't know, because depending on what goes on elsewhere, of course, you just don't know. Let's take a look at, of course, the bookies situation on odds on, of course, Slovakia. They have them 11-10 to qualify, which is okay, generous, of course, but not really fantastic. To win it, they are long shots, 250 to 1. Can Slovakia win it? When you look up against these opponents, I don't think so. I think they're pissing in the wind from the get-go. Their best chance, like I said, is against Poland. If they can get a bit of luck, and they can beat Poland, they can. They can beat Sweden, yes, they can. They can beat Spain, yes. When I say they can beat them, it's over a course of like 100 games. If Slovakia was to play Poland 100 times, they'll probably beat them, 20 times, 25 times, something like that. If they beat Sweden at 100 times, they'll probably beat them around about the same sort of figure. Play Spain, they'll beat them. They'll beat them occasionally, but that's about it. But can they get the luck? Can everything align for Slovakia to come out on top and beat Spain or take points off of the big boys? So realistically, I don't think so under the given scenario. So they cannot. Can they win it? Not really. Will they win it? Definitely not. My prediction for them, of course, their best option would be to get to the knockout stage, but unfortunately, I think they're going home early doors, and they'll crash out at the group stages and end their tournament with a bit of a whimper. There you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitch, and I'm even on Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. Again, we'll be covering the tournament extensively over the summer. Of course, we've got watch-alongs, previews, predictions, of course, all of that stuff, and many, many more. So make sure you, of course, smash your subscribe. And while you're at it, give the video a big old fat thumbs up. Again, I'll see you all very soon for another one tomorrow. Until then, well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, we'll have exclusive coverage for Euro 2020 over on the channel. Of course, we'll have match previews, match reviews, of course, watch-alongs and all kinds of stuff, including predictions as well. No. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. If you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, check out the description. I'm on Twitter, Twitch. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Of course, if you agree or disagree, let me know your opinions out in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, make sure you check out the description. I've got links to my other social media platforms are on there. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, on Twitch as well. And if you want to check me out at Patreon, you can check that out as well. Also, exclusive and extensive coverage of Euro 2020 this summer on the channel. We'll have, of course, previews. We'll have predictions, of course, watch-alongs as well. And, of course, we might even get a reappearance of Cass, the predicting cat, the real cat, not DigiCass. But, of course, lots of stuff on the channel. So make sure you give the video a big old fat thumbs up while you're at it, and of course make sure you smash the subscribe. Until then, I'll see you all very soon for another one. Until then, I'm out.